I didn't think we could fall in love. Broken from the start, chained to our past. We had closed hearts. We are breaking free. It's just you and me. We might fall apart, but we're all in love. Can we break free? Can we break free? Can we break free? Can we?
Okay, so welcome to the Alliance Live Show 109. Ready to rock and roll. We've got a full boat for you tonight. Yes, so much to talk about, so much to unpack. First and foremost, let me introduce, after a 2-week hiatus, the co-host with the most, and good pal, good old Maurice. How you doing, friend?
Good, man. I don't have quite the energy you do.
I had to really I really had to pep myself up for that one.
Yeah, that was a solid intro. Well done. A++.
We haven't been on in 2 weeks. I figured we need to come out with a little bit of energy. Also, you know, we're coming back packing. Okay, we've got Avinash with us with the Boba's Alliance podcast. What's going on, Avi?
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Yay.
And from down south, weighing in at none of your business, host of the Reality Skewed Gamers, host of the Reality Skewed Gamers live stream on Wednesday nights, and a good friend, RangerJ1999. How you doing, buddy?
I'm very happy to be here tonight. Thank you very much.
So we held off. You know, there was there were reasons. You know, unfortunately, not all of us could be here. So rather than give you half of a show, we figured we'd give you the full thing with the full cast. So we're ready to rock and roll. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot to talk about. So all that amping up of all this stuff to unpack. Really, the only thing I can think of is what's in the title, is the State of the Galaxy. So that's where we're going. I actually have to pull it up here, so let me just get there.
That's what she said.
So let me pull up the State of the Galaxy, and we will talk about that. So I mean, I guess the major theme here was that they were pretty much handling the cheaters for the Grand Arena, and a little bit about the relics. So let's go into the Grand Arena Championships. I mean, is this really a problem, or is there a lot of rampant cheating going on, or has this kind of died down now that there's consequences, or are there consequences?
We'll never know.
I see no difference, actually. I get at least one cheater per 8 people, in my group, at least one of them in there each time. So
okay. Now, is this?
I don't feel I've personally been affected. There's been a few times where I'm like, how did he? And then I go and look at his roster. It's like, he just worked me. He kept the right stuff. He had just the right. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like I've been a victim of it. Sounds like I've been pretty fortunate, but I feel like every match I've lost has been legitimate. So I don't know. It's hard for me to weigh in on that. I don't think I've ever been victim to it.
Or was it? Dun dun dun.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, you never know. I mean, just who knows?
Who knows?
Well,
Who really didn't know?
I mean, nobody knows for sure, but I mean, I have to feel like there's more people out there thinking that they're being cheated on than are actually being cheated on.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because I think that, some people are just getting beat legitimately and they just can't believe it. And some people are legitimately losing. So it's, a little bit of a different case, I guess, but I don't know. I'm not a huge participant in Grand Arena Championships, so I can't say that I have been cheated on. I can't say that I care if I was cheated on. But I mean, honestly, if somebody wants to put in that kind of effort, that's fine. But honestly, like I said, it's one of those things where I feel like because the rewards aren't that great, I mean, I just don't see the reason to cheat. I mean, like, why go out of your way? I mean,
There's no reason.
You know what I mean? Like,
No reason except for just to get the accolades of, your GAC rate, your ranking at all. And I don't participate that much. I mean, I put my counts in, but I don't always remember to hit. But I put up usually a very, 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 very solid defense. And, when I see the opposing player putting even a better defense than me, including Revens, Darth Revens, Padme, Gigi, all that stuff, there's no possible way that they could one-shot my entire thing and get basically perfect points. There's no way.
Well, I mean, I place a pretty stout defense, and my previous opponent, not only is he the first person to actually clear me, he one-shots all of my defenses. So, I'm just like I want to be like, what the? But the thing is, we actually record each other's videos and send them to one another, and I watch them. I'm like, oh, he's just super clever. He just worked me. It just went through and burned me down. So I mean, that was legitimate. But it's I don't know. I guess part of it, there's a little bit of pride when you lose too. You're like, oh, there's no way he could. I don't know. I guess some of that sets in too. But
Finity.
I mean, I believe, of course, there are people. There have always been people cheating. I mean, that's going to be a part of it. But I mean, I just feel like it's probably not quite as rampant as people think. I mean, it's definitely an issue.
Seen people across all the divisions. There have been people that were in the very top that mysteriously aren't a part of a guild and have fallen into the 20s, 40s, 50s, 60s in arena. I mean, these are people that they plucked out. They're still on the leaderboard. But I mean,
Right.
it's pretty obvious.
There are people being permabanned for this, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, when you're sitting like the top 10 of the Division 1 with like maybe 2 15 plus speed mods, it's just, and then all of a sudden you're guildless and falling in arena. I think it's pretty obvious that person was removed. So it's I don't know.
I've been having fun on my little baby account, my little 1.1 million account. You get to set one team per zone. So I get to set 4 whole teams. And at that level, when it's just basically a ticket alt, it's really hard to come up with those 4 teams and be able to keep something halfway decent for offense. So I've been able to clear the board for the opposing, and that's been kind of a lot of fun and actually a lot less stress than playing some of my bigger accounts. I just kind of set those, and there's times where it's like, oh, I forgot that one. I did GA on that one, and I forgot to do my attacks and stuff. So if I lose, I lose. I don't really care. I do look at the results, though, on that, and then I kind of look at the person's defense, and I'm like, okay, yeah, they had a really good roster, and yeah, they cleared me, and that's not a problem, but some of them are definitely suspicious in that aspect of it.
Yeah, I don't think it's rampant, but it is prevalent. I think prevalent's more of a better word to use. And even CG acknowledged that in the road ahead, that that when they're saying we've already banned hundreds and we're looking at thousands, that gives you a sense. So prevalent, but not rampant.
Right.
But you really don't care about it or think about it until it affects you. And sometimes you don't even know. You just lose and you're like,
Well, I think some people are more clever about it, and it's
Yes.
not quite so, because there's people. It's like you've got to think about it and not be able to get caught that way. But there's just some people that have it on what they call it, God mode or something like that. I don't know. I guess that's what it's called. And they just one shot everything and get max points because they don't lose any health or anything like that. Well, that's pretty darned obvious. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just dumb of them in the first place. So.
Well, they said they're using some third-party software to try to track this stuff down. So, I mean, I don't know what that is, but I'm sure that they're not taking it lightly. So, I mean, that's really what it's going to take, though, is, real consequences. If you just slap people on the wrist, they're going to do it again. So it's one of those things where, if you have invested any money or a lot of time into a certain account, if it's going to get permabanned, or even if you run the risk of it getting permabanned, it may make you second guess your decision. You know what I mean? So that's kind of, I guess, the route that they're going with it. Like I said, I mean, it didn't really bother me that people were cheating in the tournaments. I mean, I just figured that was part of it. I mean, people are always, if they're not cheating, they're exploiting, and there's a difference there. Okay, there's a difference between a hack, which would be straight up like across the board cheating. You know what I mean? And then like something like in the old tournaments where they would swap. Where two guildmates would swap characters and let each other win against each other in the middle of the night. At like 3 o'clock in the morning, they would just put in like 2-star characters and let their teammate beat them, and then they would swap that out for their teammate, and they would leapfrog each other back and forth up the ladder, so they didn't have to use as many ally points to beat each other. Things like that. I consider that exploiting more than cheating. That's more just like figuring out a way around the rules. That's not hacking the game. It's not like changing. You're working within the mechanics that the game allows you to work and just trying to dupe the rest of the people on the server. You know what I mean? So that's, to me, a little bit different. But this kind of thing, like just straight up, like like one killing another team, that was going on back then too. And to me, honestly, I would rather have the event than lose it because of a few people that cheat. I guess, especially if they're going to put the permaban on people, I think that'll cause less people to do it. But nonetheless, I mean, the rewards are totally worthless. So there's no point to cheat. There's no point to win. There's no point to lose. I mean, I literally just enter GA, and then I do some battles, and whatever happens. You know what I'm saying? It's really like it's other than the notoriety of getting a higher rank, there's no other benefit, and I don't see a purpose to go for a higher rank personally, unless I'm going for like top 5, top 10, top 20. I mean, if I'm going to be top 1,000, that's not making me feel any better at night. When I go to sleep. So, at the end of the day, it's like that's kind of the way I feel about TW too. I mean, that's the way I've always felt about it. I mean, if you're going for rank 1 to fight TI or Wallet Warriors or one of these guys, then I get the effort. You know what I'm saying? But if you're just like going balls to the wall to beat rank 127 in the world, who cares? Give me one less Zeta, and give me 0 effort. You know what I mean? And that's better. There needs to be like a reward for doing the work. And to me, like if there was a reward for winning Grand Arena, then I would be all about it. I mean, if there were shards or
heard it here, folks. Remo's all about cheating if there's better rewards.
Not cheating. I'm all about caring about it if there's more rewards. What I'm saying is, like, who cares if people are cheating if you're getting like 6 Carbantes for winning winning a Grand Arena? That's not worth it. You know, that's what I feel about. And the stuff from that store with the currency is like way too expensive as it is.
The rewards are terrible, yeah. But like if you start out 5-0, 6-0, then you're going to be a little more engaged in it. You know what I mean? Like you're like, well, this is you're winning and you're climbing. And, but once you lose once or like once you're mathematically like eliminated from Kyber, whatever the case is, like once you hit kind of like a wall, then it's more like that. It's it's like who cares? Just get throw some stuff in, try some stuff out. That's experiment time. Like if you're in Erodium already and there's no chance for you to make Kyber, if you tank a couple to test things out, just screw around or just simply don't care. I mean, that's understandable. I love Grand Arena. I think it's a lot of fun. It's the only place I can really test my characters. I don't want to hurt my guildmates and go in there and test some of this goofy stuff out that I try in Grand Arena.
Yeah, I've done some goofy stuff. I mean, I've been won a lot in this Grand Arena, but good old Maurice was there. We kind of dicked around a little bit,
Yeah.
I mean, once I had a bad RNG or something, knew I couldn't win. I was like, I can still full clear. Let's go for it, and we just dicked around.
But I mean, the concept is great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the concept of Grand Arena is fantastic. It's basically a one-on-one TW. I mean, it's a good concept. But like I said, I mean, if there was getting a couple of cryotechs and like 1,000 currency or whatever for that store, isn't making me get out of bed. I mean, that's really not worth it. There needs to be something special for it. Zetas, something, more Zetas, more, characters, more things. I'm sure everybody thinks the same as I do. So I mean, I'm not saying anything revolutionary here. I'm sure all of you.
You don't speak for. You don't know me. You don't. I don't think like you do, Remon.
I'm sure all of you feel the same way about this. But I mean,
I don't feel. You don't know how I feel.
I feel like this is my my avenue, my opportunity here to get it off my chest. So I'm able to kind of share my feelings with you guys and let you know how I feel about it.
That's right.
And this is my place to do that. So I mean, I think it's a good game mode. I think there's a lot of cool stuff about it. I think that it's going to continue to get better, and I think the way that they're releasing the characters and doing the reworks makes it a lot more interesting because now there's a lot more teams. Like when TW first came out, and you had to post teams. I mean, there were a lot less teams available for you to really run at that time. You primarily were running like your big arena teams, and then you'd put like your Ewoks in there to like try to put a bad like a bad back wall just to to fill up whatever was there. People would put clones in there or whatever, I'm saying, like stupid teams. But now there's so many like reworked factions over the course of the last 6 months. I mean, you got the new clone teams, the new Geos, you have the
those new clones are a lot of fun, man. Those guys are dope. They're awesome.
You've got the General Grievous teams. You've got these separatist squads. You've got Padme and the Galactic Republic. You've got so many teams now. The scoundrels with Bosk and the bounty hunters. You've got so many teams now that you can run that it's like there's a lot of options. There's a lot of counters for everything. They're all like sub-tier teams. Like none of them. The only arena meta team is Darth Revan, right? But they're all sub-tier teams. But they're good for these game modes, TW and Grand Arena, and that's why there's a lot of factions, and that's why they're doing it this way, which is great. I think all that stuff is fantastic. I feel like. Again, there's no real chase in the game right now other than the Negotiator, and I don't really care about the Negotiator personally. I mean, I'm getting it because it's the next big ship, and whatever other ship. I mean, I'll be more excited about the Malevolence whenever that drops, for availability. But it's like there's no. I mean, there's no long game right now, and I mean that kind of stinks. I mean, once we get Wat Tambor to 7-star. And once we get the Negotiator done, I'm sure there'll be other characters that come out, but there needs to be like a long, overarching, character that you chase after. And they could do that with Grand Arena Championships. I mean, they could give you like, 2 or 3 shards for a victory, and every time you win, you collect it. And maybe it's maybe it doesn't even have to be like a meta character, like somebody ridiculous. It would just be cool for the novelty of being able to get some Scout Trooper shards or some Supreme Leader Snoke shards or something like that. Because that would be like a nice, like at the end of the day, like after winning, you know, let's say 10 Grand Arena battles, I've now gotten, you know, 20 shards for Supreme Leader Snoke because I got 2 shards per battle. It would give me incentive to go in there and be like, listen, I'm going to win as many battles as I can every Grand Arena because I'm getting, you know, there's a long-term goal for me. There's no long-term goal with this other than, you know, getting some currency for a store that's not really that fantastic. So,
I mean, if you make it, like, there are a lot of people that are casual or PvE focused. They just don't like PvP, and if you make the rewards too strong, even if you throw in a character that's gonna, like right now, because the rewards are the way they are, there's really not much. If you don't like the mode, you can just sign up, sim a couple battles, do the bare minimum, right? Just kind of coast through and get your goodies, maybe win a match, so you get a Zeta. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to, but if you start putting like character shards in there, or like getting the currency too high, then you're forcing these players to play game mode they don't like, and then they don't like the game anymore.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm absolutely not a fan of PvP. I got burned out many years ago in games when I was doing hardcore PvP, and it just makes my skin crawl in doing it. I really don't like it. It's just not a mode that I enjoy at all.
I love it. You know, I would love to have. Are you guys there?
No,
Yep, I'm here.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I would love to have the rewards increased, but that's because I love the game mode. But you know, I've talked to other people, and they make good points in that. You know, I don't feel obligated to play it. I hate arena. I hate this. You know, I hate Grand Arena. You know, I like territory battles. I like the raid, but you know, the rewards the way they are, I don't feel like I have to participate. It's not a huge penalty.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so.
Yeah, and there's always going to be people that really enjoy that game mode, and that's perfectly fine. You know, I'll do battles sometimes, and sometimes I get a bee in my bonnet, and I put all my accounts in, and I think at one point I did all second places. Every single one of them got second place, because there was a time that I totally forgot that it was attack day, and I missed attack day on one attack day on all of them, and I was like, oh, man, I could have possibility of gotten first on all of them if that was the case. Just to see, because I just don't play it that often, and I just wanted to see if I could still do it. And I could, and I was actually halfway decent at it. So I'm like, okay, so I'm not really falling behind in that aspect of it, but it's just not a game mode. Honestly, there's so much other stuff going on. There's TV going on at the same time, or there's TW going on. And, you know, when you're trying to design defenses for, you know, guilds, and you've got GA going on at the same time, I'm like, oh God, do I have to deal with that too? So that's kind of like my take on it. But, you know, sometimes I get a bee in my bonnet and I want to do it, and sometimes I just don't.
All right, so moving along in the road ahead, not road ahead, the State of the Galaxy post. They talked about relics. It said, you started to see our introductory posts about relics over the past couple weeks. We're going to continue to do very targeted forum posts about different aspects of relics as we ramp up to the release of the relics this month. So they're coming this month in September. Topics we still need to cover include how to upgrade your relic, character progression, and relic abilities. Spoiler alert on this one, there won't be relic abilities in the initial release, but we're laying the groundwork for it. Stay on the lookout for these and continue to post your feedback. We look forward to tackling some of these questions in the Q&A later this week. So they had the Q&A, right? Like, so what did they answer in the Q&A about these relics?
Not much. Not much we didn't already know. Like,
they gave a little bit more information, just to flesh some of the stuff out that they said. I mean, really, through all the Q&As, I didn't find any like mind-blowing stuff, and I didn't expect to be. They just kind of basically, from the previous information they put out, they expanded on it a little bit. That's really all they did. I mean, so we know about as much as we know now. So
Well, they did confirm it's going to affect pilots.
Yes.
They did officially confirm that, so that's going to be exciting. But nothing too new.
it wasn't really too much.
Well, this could be too.
Oh no, they did. Oh, the signal data drop rate will be the same as mod salvage. So
Yeah, that was the thing, and Syncantina and all that stuff was like, oh my god.
so that's you're not going to be getting character shards. I don't think from those nodes anymore.
No.
I think it's just going to be specifically for the data, but you get good drop rates. And unfortunately, I feel like it's going to be just like the mod salvage, like MK1 signal data, then MK2 signal data, MK3, which is unfortunate, but just that's the way it's going to be.
But with new abilities, right? I mean, that could change a lot of things.
Yeah, but abilities aren't coming right off the back, and then we don't know what the abilities are going to be down the line, and that's going to possibly be a game changer right there. Well, it is going to be a game changer. Depending on
well, I mean that could change everything.
So I mean, double.
Well, I mean, what really can you expect? I mean, I'm sure that the characters that are good are going to continue to be good. I don't think they would ever drop like some stat stick in the game that's going to change. They'll never do mods again, like mods, the original mod drop, where like it went from like you being like like being able to like max speed in the game was like 160, and then like the mod drop was like 126 speed on an arrow. Remember that? What was like the max speed on a mod when they first dropped?
I don't remember. Yeah.
It was like 100 something, wasn't it? It was like 70 or like it was like ridiculous. It was like the statistic boosts for mods initially were intended to be like ridiculously higher than they are now. So, I doubt it'll be something like that like completely changes a character entirely. But I mean, abilities could be kind of like semi reworks. I mean, you could look at it like so. I mean, it's interesting at the very least. But we'll have to see. I mean, it's too early to speculate. We don't know much. The only thing we can really determine now, right off the bat, is that it's going to cost us more money, and it's going to be a new grind. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gear 14, baby.
Gear 14, so I'm hoping that they do release some way for us to get some of this other stuff a lot easier.
Yeah.
I don't know what fashion they would do that in, but it'd be great if
they I mean, I know it's tiny, it's a very small amount, but we're getting cryotechs every day, and they also included that gear, like the Gear 11 plus stuff, like the stuff that you need to put on to take them to Gear 12, the newer back to gels and that junk. And those are in there now. So I mean, it's a little. I know it's small, but you're talking, half a cryotech that you didn't have before every month, or so it's not. They'll do ways like that. They did toy around. They did kind of hint at they've considered doing new challenges to keep it more current with the game. Didn't really give any specifics, but just said that they were thinking about it pretty much. Then there was a whole bunch of no. like throughout the whole thing. They did confirm that Lego Star Wars characters will not be joining Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
Oh, yeah, I knew somebody was going to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks to whoever asked that question.
You have hope, and you ruined it.
Now, Finity on y'all's
that would be ridiculous if they ever if you were ever fighting a team of Lego versions of the same characters in the game, I would stop playing immediately.
Yeah, I do not want to see that in the game.
You would love it. You'd be like,
If you had to fight Lego Darth Maul, you would give up. All right, yeah, I promise you. I would tap out. Okay, I would tap out. All right, I'd be like, all right.
Tap out. You'd be like,
I would tap out.
Something Infinity said on one of your guys' mini streams last week. It's a good idea. Just buy all 4 of those things for credits. You might as well now. Like if you've got the credits, I'm sure Remon has 300-400 million. Just buy all 4 of those, and you got a little extra salvage every day.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see. Like, once this comes out, there are gonna be people that make spreadsheets of like the most efficient nodes to farm specifically for relics. There's gonna be a lot of cool stuff. Oh, cool! There's gonna be a lot of information that comes out. Like, if you guys are just going for the relics, the community will definitely have something. Like, this is the most efficient node. You get, hard node shards and all these drops, this and this and that. Because I'm gonna be missing those crew shards. I'm missing those for my shard shop every day.
I would like it if there were like characters from other video games that came in, like maybe like Kyle Katarn, or like maybe
how about M. Bison from Street Fighter? You supposed to throw him in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes?
Yeah, like Star Killer.
Oh, you can.
No, I mean other Star Wars games. I mean, like Star Killer, or like or the new guy that's going to be in the Jedi Fallen Order, like that character. Something like that would be cool.
What was the main character from the Battlefront campaign? Urso? What was her name?
Her name was Iden Versio.
Iden Versio.
I'm still shocked we didn't get any crossover characters from that. With both of them being EA products, I'm kind of shocked we didn't get a playable version of her in this game.
Never know.
I thought that we would get the Inferno Squad, like one of them, or at least Iden Versio herself. But it's weird. Like doesn't special First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter look kind of like he's from the Inferno Squad?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird. I always thought.
That was the first thing that popped into my head when you're mentioning that.
But yeah, I mean, it's weird that they didn't release her. But I mean, so Anakin's coming to the game. When do you guys think? 2 weeks? 6 weeks?
Tuesday.
Monday?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that far off.
It's been far too quiet for too long.
Not
even a marquee character. It could be something like a marquee. I feel some sort of character, whether it be an event or marquee, within the next 10 days would be my guess. It's been a long time.
And what do you think? Clones?
Perhaps one of the named characters we see on the GOTV board now, like Pawns or Mundy or an ARC Trooper or something.
Pond, yeah. That would be cool.
I think it'll be clones, and it'll be probably Pawns and ARC Trooper or something like that. But
oh yeah, there was a Vulture Droid. You're right, Ground. I forgot about that one. That just finished.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to fill out that 501st.
Got to get the 501st going. I mean, that's definitely going to be the case. But yeah, Gear 13 clones will be needed to get Anakin at some point. So work on it. 501st.
Yep, we be working on it.
All right, we'll move on to the meta and the top 5, and then we'll do our Q&A. So, used to be a time where this meta report would change from week to week. It hasn't happened in quite some time. So, really the only thing of note here is that there's 13 Shock Ts in the arena right now. So for those of you that are working on your Shock T, there's hope in the future for Shock T.
Oh, you can beat Darth Revan with Shock T, the 501st Anakin. It's not pretty, but you can do it. It's definitely a soft counter. Yeah, I mean, you need a pretty decked out team, arena mods on it, but I fooled around with it. I was probably 50%. All I did was watch Arnold's video and just kind of throw some stuff together. I didn't put a whole lot of effort into it. It was 50-50. As long as Shock T or Rex went first.
IG-88 is now 56 leaders away from passing Jedinet Revan as the second best leader in arena. IG-88.
I used him. I used my Grievous Nuke Squad today in arena to get that Grand Arena feat. I used him today.
IG-88 taking over an arena near you. You better get ready, guys.
I've been waiting my whole life
I've
for this
seen
day.
a few of them. I've seen quite a few of them, actually.
Because you remember years and years ago, there was one IG88 on the Meta Report.
There
I
was.
tried to get people to join my team, and everyone was smart for not doing so. What a short-lived team that was, but he's back. I'm pumped.
There were some other teams that were short-lived too, but that one, yeah. I mean, it wasn't the danger zone, that's for sure. Wasn't the Rogue One twins, Baze and Chirrut. But all right, that's the top 10 leaders at rank 1. We'll move along to the top 10 squad members, and General Grievous makes the top 10 squad members at rank 1, and he's number 9. Grand Admiral Thrawn at number 10, and Geonosian Brood Alpha at number 8. Looks like here, yeah. So pretty interesting.
I've been using Brood on my arena team, along with Wat.
Oh yeah, it won't be long.
Yeah,
so Wat Tambor will be on number 1 on this list. That'll be all the way up at the top.
Yep.
You think Wat will be on the Darth Revan team?
Yes.
Who knows? Probably. I don't think it'll be number 1, but you'll definitely see Wat Tambor. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know though. But the thing is, the only people that have them are going to be the veteran high-end guilds. Like, a lot of the people, I guess, that are on this Meta Report don't even have access to Wat Tambor.
Makes it nice to climb.
Yeah.
Are we unlocking Wat this next territory battles? I think we are, right?
It all depends if you pluck us that lucky shard, Ramon. Yes, we're on pace to get him. Yes, I'll be tagging everybody, hounding people. We're getting him. I'm not going a whole another cycle of Grand Arena and TW without him. Not gonna happen. Yikes! We fought a few. We fought in quite a few in TW this past time. It was not very fun.
Do you have the gear to get Wat to gear 11 right away?
I'm missing. I think it's either 50 stun cuffs or guns, and then one of the gear 11 plus stuff. I think it's a back to gel or something. But everything else I've been hoarding. I've got it all. I'm ready, boy. I got the Zeta ready. I got all the gear ready.
He looks like he's worth the investment. So
He is. And the Zeta, and definitely the Zeta.
So get your Wats.
Yeah.
But we're going to move along to our top 5. And we thought we'd throw it back with a classic. We haven't done one since March. Top 5 tanks. And we figured we'd revisit the topic. So top 5 tanks.
Yeah.
Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much for bringing that up.
Our number 5. All right. All right. Our number 5 tank in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes
number 5.
is Maurice.
Oh, crew. Kylo Ren unmasked.
I'll show you the dark side.
Now, I am known to be a bit of a first order homer, but he actually is. If you do have it, even if you don't have the leadership, the unique Zeta provides a pre-taunt, and even outside of the first order faction, he is really becoming one of my personal MVPs for territory battles. Phases 3 and 4. He's got tenacity down on his basic, and he's a countering tank that pre-taunts and regenerates health. And a lot of these clone teams, they kind of just pick you apart, especially when you get those Codys and all the assisting characters. They're really not doing massive damage on their basics. They're hitting him, and crew's recovering. Crew could really get you out of some tight spots. Like, you could run him with your Trey. If your Trey team's falling a little short in some of these P4 battles, I maybe use Kylo as your 5th because he's got the 2-turn stun. He's got tenacity down. Just a very, very good character. A lot of people, there's a couple guys on my arena shard. They didn't get Malik the first time around and actually used Grandmaster Yoda and Kylo Ren actually in their arena teams. It was a pretty tough team. So just a very versatile character. Even you just got to think outside of the first order faction. He's got a lot of standalone value that people forget about.
Yeah, he's good. He's good in as leader spot in TB. in TB to help with phase 3 and 4, especially.
So when you saw this image, good old Maurice, did it make you cry?
Which image?
The one of Kylo.
I don't think Maurice. I don't think Maurice has seen it.
You haven't seen it?
What? I see a speed in the health set. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, 4 dots and is.
Well, hey man, it's better than 3.
That is a true statement, but I mean,
3. Yes,
they could be 3-dot mods.
Well, we have to,
and you're not going to get away with the 16 speed on that white
No.
mod down there.
That white mod. That white mod started with 16 speed roll.
No, I'm afraid it did not.
Yeah, you're not getting away with that one tonight. Not that one. But
I swear it's 16 speed.
It's kind of tough to defend a clear mod 4-dot. I really don't know what to say about the 4-dot mod. The 4-dot clear mod. That's definitely a bad one. But
so, lesson for you boys and girls out there: better mods for your tanks. They seem to last longer when you do that.
Anyway, Kylo Ren Unmasked is absolutely amazing.
I don't like my mods.
Kylo Ren Unmasked is absolutely amazing, and he has, he has really a cool leadership too. I mean, like he's probably, I think he'll still be the best. I think he'll be one of the better first order leaders even after this movie passes, and hopefully they kind of put some pieces around. I know they're going to probably release another version of Kylo Ren, but hopefully they make it so that this version of Kylo Ren, does still get to use his leader, because I really love the speed. I love the damage. I think that if they could, kind of add a few components to that team to make it a little bit better, it could be more of a contender against some of the other teams out there. Whereas, the crew team has kind of fallen, a little bit down the pecking order here of late because of all these, cool teams that have been coming out lately. But if they could add, we know we're going to get new first order characters. So if they could add some pieces that could really add some value to the crew team, that'd be great. 3 Kylos on one team, yes.
I don't know, man. I would hate to see another Kylo, unless I don't know. I think the 2 we have are plenty. I'd like to see like a rework to like poor first order TIE pilot. Just like what a dated character. He used to be so good. He's so dated now. Like first order officer, maybe tweak some of the existing characters. Give us like Phasma could really use some love. What a key character to be so just dated and slow.
I mean, yeah, she was a key character. She was in the movie for like 5 minutes and then she died. She was in the next one, then she died.
But yeah, they're definitely not going to miss out on the opportunity to cash in on another Kylo Ren. So that's going to happen. And he's going to have that crystal mask. And, listen, if he's good, that's fine. I would like to see a Kylo Ren meta, like a nice first order team. Maybe they release, another version of Palpatine. Maybe they release Snoke. Maybe they release the Sith troopers. Maybe they release the Praetorian Guards. Who knows? Maybe they release the Knights of Ren. There's a lot of cool things they could do. So we'll see what happens. Dark Ray, yeah, that'd be cool. Dark Ray, Master Kylo in the chat. Dark Ray. All right, so we're gonna go and we're gonna move along to our number 4. Number 4 tank in the game, and this is L337. And I figured that rather than show you, what my mod capabilities are for L337, we just go with the clear no mod situation, because who can complain about that one, right? I mean, it's a Gear 7
I mean, she's
character.
so good. Remon doesn't even want to use her. He doesn't want to be OP.
She's a Gear 7 character. Clearly, she doesn't deserve mods.
I mean, her name spells Leet, not to Remon. She will sit on the bench.
Name spells leads. Yeah. L337, very, very good. Very, very good tank. Usually it does kind of go hand in hand with Vandor Chewbacca, but you don't have to. I mean, she's a scoundrel. She's got droid synergy, scoundrel synergy. She does have the Zeta that kind of gives the savior-like-esque revive for your droids. I have it. It's okay. I mean, I wouldn't really suggest it to anyone without, yeah, you can kind of bail on the Zeta. But the rest of her kit is pretty incredible. She gets a huge protection boost just from her kit alone. Her max health stacks on her basic attack. She's a countering tank. Cleanses any other scoundrel anytime she gets hit. She's got 3 chances to self-modicate, giving her a taunt, then a physical taunt move herself. Very, very tanky character. From Gear 12 to 13, she receives a bunch of defense-oriented pieces and those secondary defensive stats that have been kind of for so long. You know, she's kind of fun. She's up in the 5s type level of defense. You can get her up into the 70+% armor. That's kind of fun to fool around with. Just a great character. A lot of people use her with Rebels. Goes a lot of teams with Nest. She's very versatile. Yeah.
Well, she's also, I mean, part of that really good timeout team with Kira and Vandor Chewie, and so L3 definitely, you know, adds value on that team. The thing is, you know, you really need to have all the components for that team for it to make sense. I mean, I personally, I think if you're a gamer like Maurice is in this game, and you know you're theory crafting different teams, then there's a lot of value in this character. You know, if you're looking for set teams, though, however, she doesn't really fit into a lot of places other than I think that that particular team. Other than the fact, I mean, if you're using her in like a droid squad, I mean, she's got the scoundrel tag, but again, it's one of those things where I think she kind of works better with with certain characters. So she does have standalone value, but I think her best value is as a character that you're going to utilize in that team with Kira, in my opinion.
Yeah, unfortunately, she doesn't synergize with the droids too well. It's just... I mean,
yeah, which is a shame, a real shame.
She's like a better version of K2SO for the droids, pretty much. Like, she's not that much different than K2SO. Like, it's just... it's unfortunate. I got really excited when she came out, put that Zeta on instantly, only to use her with other teams. So, yeah, she's tough on a Karth team, too. Yeah, she for sure is. But, yeah. Number 4.
Number 4. Moving along to our number 3 tank in the game, we have
Night Sister Zombie.
So,
good old zombie face. Good old Night Sister Zombie.
I mean, Night Sister Zombie is
one of the most irritating characters you can possibly have.
Yeah. Yep, she's definitely annoying. But I still believe in Paper Zombie. I believe in it.
Why do you believe in it? What?
I believe in it.
Why?
I don't. I'm just kidding. But
okay.
I thought it'd be funny to say because I still have one.
I mean...
Yeah.
So, kids, another lesson here. Take your tanks up in gear if you want them to be good. Especially Zombie, who doesn't really do anything until she hits gear 10. The more you know.
Yeah,
gearing her up to gear 10. Listen, that makes sense, but you know what? It's like there's other characters that are more important right now. She's definitely
Zombie on a Night Sister team, you psychopath.
Yes.
Oh, my.
gotta have it. Need to have it on the territory battles.
Okay, would you rather me spend a second working on zombie instead of working
Yes.
on B1 or working
Yes.
on you know,
not right now. Not
no,
no. You work on your B1.
Oh. God,
I
dog.
mean, listen, there's other
Guys.
characters. There's other characters that have priority. And she's important, and she'll get it. She'll get her due. I mean, don't get me wrong. I probably should have put some time into her in the past, but there were other characters that were more important to me. I wanted Jango Fett, so screw you. Okay, Jango Fett's my dude.
Remote.
Ramon, you've been playing
Ahsoka
since day
Tano
one.
lead.
Yeah, Ramon, you've been playing this game as long as I have. No.
Yeah.
Well,
run
Gear
it.
10. Gear
No,
10. Next
sorry,
time we
yeah,
want to see
I
Gear
mean,
10.
and this has been, yeah, you only need a Gear 10.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, she really is better than B1. You're right, but
I have all of mine G13 at this point.
I will say, if you run that Ahsoka Night Sister Evasion lead, you don't really need Night Sister Zombie.
But
yeah, but I mean, she's definitely a key character for that team. I mean, I've definitely been like absolutely missing out not having her on my Night Sister team. You know, we're
Yes.
up to snuff, so for sure. But yeah, I mean, Night Sisters are a pretty key faction as a counter team. So I mean, like, you know, having a solid Night Sister zombie, you know, really really can help you a lot in these TWGAs. You know, get you through you know, some TV battles. You know, being able to basically you know, basically keep your Asajj Ventress and your Mother Talzin and your old Daka alive. You know, so.
yeah.
But anything else to add on Night Sister Zombie, Maurice?
No, let's. She's got tenacity on her, basically. We can move on. Just we can move on.
All right.
Yeah, she's good.
All right, moving along to our number 2 tank in the game. Number 2 tank is General Kenobi.
Surprise.
Hello there.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's number 2.
Well, he's
always
still the
number
man.
2.
He's still the man. Still, everyone uses him with Padme now, but you can still use him with Jedi Knight Revan. Just wherever you put him, he is an ultimate tank. You know, the Zeta is only necessary if you do the Padme lead. If you do the Padme lead, you're pretty much married to the GK Zeta. So
Which
keep
is
that in
worth
mind.
it. Yeah,
yes,
he's
100%.
sick at Gear
Oh, yeah.
Mine's Gear 13, he is just ridiculous.
So annoying to go up against.
Nothing's really changed significantly about his kit. He did get the taunt when you do protection up, but I mean, it's still kind of the same old guy. Can't crit hit anybody without him taunting, giving everybody crit hit immunity, which is a very, very good buff. Crit immunity is so very, very kind of not too many characters give that buff, so it's a good one to have in your arsenal. Got an AOE assist for his Jedi, I guess, clone counterparts, and he does have the cleanse. Flip the buffs, give everybody retribution move. The negotiator is going to be the fleet commander of what will soon be the meta capital ship. Probably after this TB, you're gonna start seeing those 5-star negotiators floating around. We're gonna see how good it really is, I guess. But we same old GK we've always had. Will always be number 2 on this list for the foreseeable future. So yeah.
And I'm glad after I called him out last time on the mods, Rima said, forget that, I'm keeping him on there. And it kept the crit damage crit chance on Kenobi.
Yep, still see it.
Haters gonna hate, lovers gonna love. Rima doesn't give a crap about none of the above. He wants to hate on you.
Hate on you. Hate on you. Yeah, no, but General Kenobi is he's the bomb diggity. You know, and he's also the captain of the negotiator, so he's a must-have in most scenarios. He will, you know, I mean, besides, I mean, everybody knows his abilities, right? I mean, you know, he cleanses, he's, you know, passive taunt, the crit immunity. You know, really, I think his value is increased because of the value he adds to the Galactic Republic team with Padme, right?
Yeah, well, that and then they not hinted. They basically said we're getting a 3v3 Grand Arena soon. And General Kenobi's stock in 3v3 goes through the roof. I think General Kenobi is like a top 5 character overall for 3v3. He's you can put him anywhere, and he makes any 2 ragtag characters better. Like he is awesome in 3v3. So do get your tank raids done. Do go for those Wampa solos, whatever people use now. I don't even know what people use to solo the tank raid. I usually just go ahead and post my 0 for that one. But yeah. Taking lots of notes. Good one, Durgan.
All right, so Kenobi is our number 2 tank in the game. Moving along to our number 1 tank in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Who do you guys think this is? I mean, I know, but all right.
We all know.
It's Malik. All right.
Yeah, it's Malik.
Yeah, it's Malik. Yeah, you guys guessed it. Okay, he's the best tank in the game.
He can solo a team. That's how good he is.
Yeah.
How good is he really?
He's
Maurice.
super good. Old Maurice, tell him what you saw me do.
You get him modded correctly. Man, he is just absolutely fantastic and is so incredibly hard to kill.
He's like Malik is so good. You can have a counter for Darth Revan, but you're never comfortable unless you keep a backup team that's built specifically to kill Darth Malik. Like like if your Darth Revan counter fails and leaves Malik, and you don't have something
or you don't know what to do. Yeah, if you don't know
Darth
what
Malik.
to do to kill him, you will get. Yeah, there is somebody this last TW that it took 17 tries to bring down just a Malik.
Yeah,
because they didn't know what to use against him.
Yeah, like everyone's only got one Nihilus, or one Savage. Like it's like one crew and one Kylo. There's only so many things that can take him out. And I mean, I was ranting and raving about GK. I mean, Darth Malik is in a tier by himself already, but he's in 2 tiers, maybe 3 or 4 tiers higher than any other character in the game in 3v3. He single-handedly broke 3v3. He's unbelievable in that game. If you guys are not placing him on defense and when 3v3 comes around, no, place him on defense. I love him, but I hate him. He's the best character in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So they're saying that he missed leg day at the gym, because he's so buff.
You just can't see his legs. So beefy too, man.
He's so buff, but he's got no hamstrings.
Well, you can't see him.
He's just kind of more, top heavy. I prefer a well-rounded.
He's well-rounded. You just can't see his legs because they're being covered up right now.
Yeah. And wearing a onesie and where it looks like actually like the old-fashioned like underwear.
He just got done playing
the onesie underwear. Yeah, the onesie underwear. That's what it looks like.
When you're out playing Jedi, you have to be comfortable.
It looks like
he's very comfortable.
It looks like he's wearing a onesie and he's got like some really, really, really killer boots on, and he's got like a corn sweater wrapped around his waist.
Yeah, it's almost like a modesty wrap. I don't know. And then you've got his little helmet hat thingy.
No, that's not a helmet hat thingy.
Oh snap!
That's his actual jaw.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah. So.
See, I didn't know that.
Darth Revan cut off his lower jaw because he got mouthy with him.
What is his race? He's just human?
He's human.
Okay.
I did a whole lore video on it, Reman. Maybe you should watch it sometime.
Yeah, no, I mean, I knew he was human. I'm just, pointing it out and trying to have a conversation about it. But thanks, Ranger! All right?
No, thank you.
All right?
I didn't know it was a jaw. I just figured
it's a jaw. It's a replacement for his jaw, and he literally he sliced off the entire lower jaw. So the only way he can talk is also a voice modulator.
Wow. Okay.
So it hooks up to his throat, so he can actually talk.
I gotta freaking play the rest of that game. I've got the game. I just never have the time to play it.
Mhm.
So
I know the last time I tried to play it, I stalled out the Juwadi part again and just said, nah.
Meh.
I don't want to run around and kill these lions for 16 hours so I can level up. I was like, man.
So are we going to get Jedi Malik in this game? Is that going to happen?
I got it. And I hope we don't get Alec in the game. No.
We're going to get Alec in the game.
I hope they're done completely with KOTOR.
No. They need to put Vitiate in this game. It has to happen, okay? Vitiate needs to come in this game immediately. He should be the next character. He should have came out with Malik. Should have came out instead of Malik. I would have taken Vitiate over Malik. No, Malik is awesome. But I mean, like, still, Vitiate would be cool. Or Valkorian. I'll take either. Just one of them. And of course, we're missing probably the most important characters of all. Ranger, you know who I'm talking about, right?
There's a lot. Narrow it down for me.
Well, let's
you
see.
say Turtle Twins,
They look very similar. Okay.
Yes. Yes, Stetson and his brother. Yes, I get it. The Eternal Twins. Yes, great.
They need to be in the game, right?
Sure.
How are they not in it already? If you and I send a letter every day from now until Christmas, they have to listen.
Yeah, sure. You go first. I'll support you.
All right.
That's a lot.
And by supporting, I mean no.
It's a lot of stamps. Yeah, it's a lot of stamps.
I don't know the last time you bought a stamp, but those things have gotten way pricier than when I used to use the U.S. Postal Service. Yeah,
Well,
stamps are pricey.
We'll just settle for emails every day then. Those are free. Those are free.
Yeah.
All right. So our honorable mention this week is Bosk, because who doesn't need a good friendly neighborhood Bosk?
Yes, indeed. And yes, I did overlook Darth Sion for this list, but this is where Darth Sion likely would have been. So either or, pick your own. But Bosk is he's a top 10 leader on the meta report. There we go. Honorable mention is Bosk. He is the captain of arguably the best ship in the game, and he does a pretty wicked taunt that you cannot get rid of. Has Frenzy. Only him and Bista are the only characters with this move in the game. Makes Zam Wessel kind of... It's fun. The Frenzy is fun with Zam Wessel. Actually makes her semi-viable. Just very, very tanky. Has a very defense-oriented leadership. Lots of tenacity, lots of protection, lots of defense. Just a great all-around character. Very, very fast taunting tank. Oftentimes the success of the bounty hunter team depends on how quickly Boss can get that taunt out. So it is kind of cool to have a taunting tank that is as tanky as him with such a high base speed. Very, very unique character. No, Fives doesn't make the list. No.
not yet.
No, not yet. Well, good point. Not yet. Yes.
Not yet. Yeah.
Bosk.
He still needs to be thoroughly tested.
Yeah, I do apologize, guys. I did overlook Sion. Sion would have made the list. I do apologize about that. But
I did not forget Fives. However, I did talk about Fives with Maurice before the show, and he said Fives is not good enough. And
not yet. No, Abby makes a good point. Not yet. We'll see.
Yeah, he hasn't been thoroughly tested yet with his new reworks to find out if he's going to be really good or whether it's like, not as great as we thought.
Why not Magna Guard? Because Magna Guard sucks outside of a Grievous team.
He's really poop.
Oh God, yeah. Oh.
He's terrible outside of a Grievous team, but
even on a
Separatist team, he's good
kind
with
of.
Grievous, but...
Yeah, even on those teams, he's still a little off.
Yeah.
Magna Guard.
All of these characters on this list have standalone value, I feel. All of them do. Maybe not Night Sisters. I mean, even Night Sister Zombie does, but she's just so good on that Zombie or Night Sister team that you use her. But Sith Trooper, no.
Also, Houndstooth, guys. Houndstooth. Mm-hmm. Come on.
There's a lot of good tanks here. The 6 through, or I guess you could say the 4th through the 10th spot is as everyone can make a case for lots of different characters: Sith Trooper, Magna Guard, maybe fives, Boss, Crew, L3. They're all kind of lumped together. Just depends on how you use them. Taunting tanks, guys, not just any tank. Taunting tank.
Yeah, I don't really specify that, but that when we're talking about tanks, I mean, I'm not talking about somebody who's characterized as tank. We're just talking about taunting tanks, because that's what I consider a tank in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, I
Royal
mean...
Guard. Get out of here with that. Yeah. Well, that's it for the taunting tanks, guys.
Yeah.
So that's our top 5 taunting tanks in the game. We're going to go ahead and get back to some gameplay here. I hope you guys do appreciate that. Now let's move along to some gameplay, and we'll do the Q&A segment of the stream. So for those of you that don't know, this is typically where you can ask some questions in the chat, and we'll scoop them up. If you've asked any questions so far, I haven't seen many, but if you have, I'm sure Maurice will take a look and see what you guys have asked, and we'll answer those questions. Also, if you have any topics you want to discuss, you can bring them up here now, and we'll talk about them. So, like we said, I think there's going to be, possibly, some new characters coming out here soon. I mean, they have to, because we're coming up here towards the end of September. October, November, December. I mean, the promo stuff for the movie is definitely going to start probably at the end of October, beginning November. So I would assume after Halloween, it's going to be all Rise of Skywalker stuff coming forward. So I mean, so they really have the next 6 weeks or so to kind of pump up any of the stuff related to this territory battles and the Clone Wars type thing. I mean, they may revisit the Clone Wars again after Skywalker, or continue to add to it throughout. But that would be kind of unprecedented, because typically they like to finish one thing and then move on to the next. So if that's any indication, at least the way they've handled most of these things in the past, you'd have to believe that the light side version of this Geonosis territory battles is going to come out within the next 6 or 7 weeks, and also another version of Anakin most likely will be available in the game through some sort of event. Now, that's kind of a short window of time to have a legendary event, because I mean, they'd have to release the characters, the cadence would have to pass, it'd have to become farmable. So this, I mean, they could theoretically make it a pay-to-win event, and I don't know, but we'll have to see. But I think that you're going to have to start ramping up probably mid-November for whatever event they're going to release for Rey. You know what I mean? So, it's going to be kind of close here. That's a hard farm for some people that don't necessarily have, like, Rose Tico or some of those other characters prepared, because I have a feeling that they're going to surprise you with a character that's not so popular, that you have to have at probably Gear 12 or Gear 13 to get Rey's next version, the Jedi version of Rey. And what that means, I don't know. I mean, will there be a Jedi version of Rey that synergizes with Jedi Knight Revan and make that like just the most ridiculous team of all time? Or will there be like a Resistance element to it with other characters that are released with her? I mean, we'll have to wait and see for that. All that speculation at the moment. But one thing for sure is that anytime this game releases a hero's journey character, they are OP to the max. So I would not doubt that the next version of Rey will be meta-defining. So I would say that whatever you're doing, I'd say that the clones are probably not going to be as important as this next version of Rey, in my opinion. So, we may have to make some tough decisions here in the next couple of months. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. There's so many things that could happen. They could go with, a solid first order team. But I tend to believe that they're going to kind of lean towards Rey being the more meta-defining character than Kylo Ren out of the two. So at least that's the direction they've gone in so far. So I think that, and she's already a hero's journey character, so she's going to get a completion of her hero's journey. So that's definitely going to happen. So we'll see. Do we have any questions, Maurice?
Yeah. First question is from a Finity, who to gear first? Rose Tico or Night Sister Zombie?
I'd go for Rose.
Rose Tico,
Definitely.
Rose Tico for sure.
Yep.
There we go. You heard it here first, folks. All right. Nathaniel Miller, what are your go-to teams for the Triumvirate Sith Raid P4 against Scion and Treya? So what do you guys use against just Nihilus is down? Everyone's got Nihilus down with the Night Sisters, whatever they use. It's just Scion and Treya. What are you guys using?
I don't even know because I'm just put a big fat 0 in the Sith Raid. So it's the time of it is just too off for me, so I never participate at all, really.
You know that's basically anything that you would use in P2. You can pretty much use right there. You just want to make sure that you have a support character to cleanse the bonds. I think I've got a Zeta Stormtrooper Han. I know that's not realistic for most people, but the Scion Treya part is a good spot to put like your Kira teams. For your Karth teams are okay. If your mission hits real hard, you can throw them in there. Zalbar mission, pick you up an extra 800,000, 1 million. I mean, if you still got your Sith Empire, I mean, they're great in any phase. You can throw them in there and pick up a bunch of points. Like maybe some of those old variations we used in P2 before Giant Revan, like your GK Thrawn, Wampa, Hermit Yoda type teams that used to be popular. Bounty Hunters are unfortunately kind of meh. If you still got a Death Mark, if you use one of those, if you use like the Rebels or that Night Sister Anakin team, whatever it is for P3 that you want to, you still got Death Trooper. That's a good spot to put your troopers. Anything with Death Trooper. It's just tough. You can't really debuff him, so it's tough. But same old stuff. And Trey is just blitz. I'll tell you, a team that works real well versus Trey is I think it was McMullen that put out a video a long time ago. It's like Rex Lead, Fives, Clone Sergeant Echo, and Baze. And Baze pre-taunts, and then the first turn Baze gets you throw up the shield buff, and he just sits there and eats it because Trey has no AoEs. You just sit there and just clock her with the clones. That's a pretty good team. You usually pick up 1 million on just Trey alone with that. But yeah,
I wonder how the new clones would work with that. That'd be interesting. That'd be fun to test out.
It was weird. We did a Sith raid the other night, and I was going to try this on this exact spot, but for the first time ever in the history of the Xi raid, Scion was down first, and not Nihilus. I went in there. I was like, wait a second.
Ooh, that's not a good thing, though.
Well, I mean, we're going to beat it, but I mean,
Yeah,
it just threw me off. I'd never seen that before ever. So somebody went in there with some magic, took out Scion without taking out Nihilus. But the Rex damage seems to go along and kind of scale with how they tweaked how dots and exposes kind of affect them. It didn't do too much damage, but it is what it is. Let's see. Thanks, Tiny Grimes. Tiny Grimes in the chat. Jay Solo. Should I farm Rose in case she is needed?
I think Grande's still a Patreon of Tiny Grimes today.
Yeah, congratulations.
Grande Patron still paying Tiny Grimes for Star Wars Galaxy Hero.
Our Jay Solo is asking, and I think you kind of just touched on this a few minutes ago. Should I farm Rose in case she is needed for an Episode 9 event? You touched on. I don't think it's a terrible idea to at least farm the shards for all of the characters. Holdo, Rose, at least have the shards ready. And Holdo, especially for a tank, is a pretty easy gear. So that way you have the shards in the event and maybe have a look at their gear. Around the time the movie comes out, have a look at their gear and just kind of save it and see. You never know. Like as Remon mentioned, Rose, Holdo, these aren't two of the more popular characters in the game. They have to make something. They're going to make as much money as they can, utilizing, free-to-play characters. So,
yeah, I think that they're going to. They're definitely going to swamp you with some character that you definitely didn't think of, like Rose Tico. I don't know. I haven't even seen Rose Tico. I saw a video the other day where, Rose Tico's been pretty much out of all the promotional material for the new movies. So, I mean, I haven't seen her in that at all. I think they're just going to wash out that whole role with her and Finn and like the relationship that they had. I think they're just going to get rid of it.
They should. It was so incredibly
That
lame.
was such a terrible movie. Oh my god. Oh my god. Every time I think about it, it just haunts my night. It just haunts my dreams. And anyway, that's a topic for another time. But nonetheless, I think it'll be interesting to see what they do with the next one. So what's the next question?
Oh, the next question is from Grande Patron. Should I Zeta the 501st now or wait? They are all Gear 12 plus.
I would say hold off for now. I mean, like I considered putting a Zeta on Rex the other day, but you know it's not worth it yet because I mean we're really missing 2 components, right? So until those other pieces come out, I mean there may be a more important Zeta for the new characters that drop, and if they drop in the next couple weeks, you'll be able to get a better idea once you see the kit reveal. Which Zetas you should and shouldn't do. You know, once you see the full 5 form, then it'll be a little bit easier to make a decision like that and say it's worth it. I mean, because, one of the new characters could have 2 Zetas, could have, probably 2 Zetas, you know what I mean? So it may be, a game-shattering Zeta, you know what I mean? So it may be worth it to hold off, depending, I guess, on how many Zetas you have. But I do think that the clones will be worth the Zetas whenever the rest of the team does drop, so...
Yeah, I would hold off on Shock T specifically. She's a great character. Don't get me wrong, she's a great character. I mean, if you have her Gear 12, plus like the rest of them, you're in good shape. But I wouldn't put any Zetas on her just because, whatever comes next could kind of phase Shock T out of that specific clone team. Rex Lead is pretty good enough, but I've used it a bunch. I do like the Shock T lead is good for getting them out quick, but with the Rex lead, you take way more turns over the course of the battle. If you're running a Rex lead, I think the Zeta on him is very, very important. 5 tactical awareness is a good one too. But if you put tactical awareness on, then you pretty much want to use Rex's Zeta as well because that's going to give 5 more taunts. I'm kind of holding off on his other unique. I think it's going to be helpful, but I just kind of want to see, like, if it is General Anakin. Grande, you probably have Wat, but if you don't have Wat, you're going to want probably a Zeta for that, and then I would hold off, try to have maybe 1 or 2 banked for whatever's coming. I have a double Zeta Shock T, and I wish that I'd maybe held off on those. So, but now with all these new information's coming, and we got a whole new tag and potential 5th 501st, I basically got Grandmaster Yoda on my Shock T, so... Anyone with a Grandmaster Yoda leadership Zeta.
Oh yeah, I know exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
Grandmaster Yoda, yes. Oh, Bastla's lead is way better. Oh, I just wasted this, Grandmaster Yoda, but it's
That was such a weird occurrence, right? I mean, like it was like, why would they do that? Why would they do that? Because that's not. They don't even sell Zetas. Why would they do that? That was like such a tease. I mean, it really was like. It looked like it was cool. We were all like theory crafting different teams, also making videos about like Grandmaster Yoda lead with like, a Visa Smar and like all these different things. And it just, then like 2 weeks later it was Bastila.
Oh, well, the thing that Morgan says Echo Zeta is a noob trap, perhaps, but that Zeta is kind of a wait and see Zeta. Whatever, like that Zeta is the Zeta you're going to need if you do want to use it to beat Darth Revan. It's very specific Zeta. It all depends on which teams. Like if that team is very capable of taking a Jedi Revan lead down with Echo Zeta, whereas it's kind of tough without. All depends on how you use it.
Also depends on what game mode you're using it to. So
True.
It depends on if you're going to be using it for you might be needing it for the light side territory battles that will be coming up sooner or later. And then also for TW, depending upon if you're going to be using it for defense or offense.
That's a good point. Like if we have in the light side version, if we have like a like an Acklay-esque special mission, and that boss creature or whatever it is in that event has just a whole ton of foresight, then that Zeta is going to be probably mandatory to beat it. You know what I mean? Like it all depends. That's a good point. That could be you're going to need me later sort of Zeta. I don't want that Zeta, but I don't know. We're all running around with double Zeta Brood Alphas. You know, that's.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, just put 2 on him. Yeah,
So.
Echo does hit hard. Yeah, his rework was kind of meh, except for the fact that they eliminated the damage penalty, and you got Echo. If you do use Shock T, you just stack Echo with 125% extra crit damage. He's assisting for like 35, 40k every time somebody attacks. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even though getting a Zeta every time you pull that pack is probably more beneficial long term, because I think the math works out to benefit you probably better to get one every single time. Isn't it a whole lot less exciting now that you're not you're not a kid, you're not just like rolling the dice to get a double Zeta. I'd be like,
I really like it. I like the fact that there is a guarantee, because I'm so tired of the RNG in every other aspect of this game. You just got to have some stuff that just doesn't have that randomness to it, I think.
All right, we got one that just came in.
I like it too. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I know it's a better option. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not. Yeah, I've had 0-2 for weeks. I know the deal. I'm just saying it's like less exciting. It's less interesting. I mean, it was something like it was like flipping a coin. It was kind of fun. But I understand. Like I said, I like it better this way for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one just came in. Does Brood Alpha really need his leadership Zeta in Grand Arena Championships defense? I guess he uses them on defense. You guys think that Brood Alpha needs the lead?
Yes. Brood Alpha needs everything, I think, including the lead. That both the Zetas is what makes Brood Alpha and makes the team.
He needs Gear 13, he needs double Zetas. Yep. Everything for him.
Well, I know me personally, the teams I use to beat the bugs are going to be Treya, if she's available, which she's probably not going to be. and then I just stick 3 in, the 3 triumvirate, and just let it run on auto, and the bugs take care of themselves. If you have a well-modded triumvirate, I don't think the leadership helps you at all. Like you could potentially maybe take down Scion, but like the other team I use is Ray, right? My Jedi training Ray, and that team is very, very buff dependent. It's a good chance all 5 of those characters are gonna have some sort of buff, so that can make it really tough for me with that leadership Zeta. So some people are using Jedi Knight Rev, and I haven't had much success with that. But if people want to use Padme against it, that's another team that has a lot of buffs traditionally. So a lot of the counters for the bugs are buff oriented squads. So that leadership I think would help it hold probably a good bit better. So I don't have it myself. That's one that's on the docket, but I'm trying to hoard, and it's tough. But
any more
Dr.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
McFly is super concerned. he's pretty upset. Like Shock T's kit, the assist move where she gives the crit damage up to the clones that she calls into assist, or the tenacity to the Galactic Republic. Asking why is there a buff indicator for it? It's just a passive boost to the team. I don't know.
So, what passive boost?
Like Shock T's. Let me look up the official name of it here. Hold on a second.
Why is there a buff for it, even though it's not really a buff?
No, the training exercises gives. When you pick a random clone, you pick a random ally to assist. If they're a clone trooper, they get 25% crit damage for the rest of the battle. If they're Galactic Republic, they get 25% tenacity up to 5 times, but there's no physical stacks to show.
I get it. Okay.
You know, so if they were to do that, it would have to be like a locked buff, right? Because you can't dispel like a flat stat boost to the base stats, you know. So I see what he's saying.
That's not really a buff though. That's really more of like just a stat boost, you know. So that's more like the way like a unique works rather than a buff.
Yeah, but it would be helpful when you're fighting the team, especially on the clone team that's so assist oriented. It gets kind of tough to keep up what's going on. I can see his point that it would be helpful, even if you can't dispel it, just to have like, wow, Echo's got 3 stacks of the crit damage of it. It might be time to take him out, so something like that. I can see that being helpful. Yes, just hanging out. Yeah, I know Maul gives 20% evasion, but what are the odds that Savage dodges all 4 of Rex's ultimates? Pretty poor.
Yeah. If Savage was on the UI would dodge every single one of them. But since it's on your team, you won't be dodging them all.
I see a question here. What's the weirdest team you've used Hermit Yoda on?
Yes.
Whatever I got. Like if it's getting down to the nitty gritty in TW or Grand Arena, I'm throwing them on any team.
Oh, sorry. So the question was, what weird teams do you have for what's the weirdest team you've used for Hermit Yoda? They were saying that they lost me in chat, so I just repeated it.
Yeah.
I used to run, I don't know how weird it is, Rex, Wampa, Hermit Yoda. That's not weird. But then I used to run Scarecrow, Pathfinder, and Zeb with it. That's probably the weirdest team I ran. I ran that team consistently. It's pretty good. Zeb with the dazes kind of stunned everybody, and Scarecrow, Pathfinder kind of feed a little more turn reader. It was pretty good for leftovers.
Yeah, I mean, I've used Hermit Yoda on a lot of different teams. Especially in like TB, as like a 5th. I mean, he works well on. Obviously Jedi teams, but I mean, you can use him with any team that gives you some sort of a benefit for a call and assist. Like if you have characters that attack twice, like for example, like Ezra, or Dooku. He's a character you can use with pretty much anybody, especially with the team heal and all that stuff. I mean, obviously he's got the most benefit to a Jedi squad, but you can use him a lot of places.
All right, we got a couple more. Real quick, McFlies. What do you guys think the best clone team is?
I think it depends upon how you want to mod your clones, because it's hard to tell. I want to do some testing myself to find out which is going to be the best combination for me. I mean, it might not necessarily work for others, but I might like a certain type of team in that aspect of it. I've been using Sergeant instead of Cody, but I don't know if that's going to be the best for me for that. So I don't know yet.
I probably like the 3-5 first, Ahsoka and Barriss. A lot of people use R2 in that spot, but you really need to mod. You use R2 there, you're trying to maximize all the health pools, so it takes a lot of remodding to run it, super properly. You want health, 16% health across the board, everybody. They just become pretty much indestructible after 5s goes down. That's disgusting to try to deal with. So it's that's a good one too.
I mean, I don't have it, but my favorite team out of them that I like, it seems to be like the Shock T team. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, I find that Shock T is kind of a liability on defense. Just, I don't know. She's just
a little bit, yeah.
Easy to target. Doesn't get the benefits all the other 501st. So you can just take her out. then it's just she's not a tanky character. I mean, you don't see too many Gear 13 Shock T's yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, I want to have some fun and see if I can do some good stuff with like a Rex lead clones with like Barris or like a Soko, but we'll see. I want to play around with that a little bit more.
Yeah, you are going to want either Ahsoka or Shock T on the team, either because there's no Dispel otherwise. I mean, Echo's AoE, I guess, could work, but it's really nice to have just a targetable kind of basic attack assist because, when it's Rex's turn to drop that bomb, you want to make, darn sure that you've got access to the character you want to take out, so
right.
There's nothing worse than that. It's like Annihilate on Darth Nihilus when you got your Annihilate ready and Nisus or Zombies taunting. It's like, oh, it's just, you want to make sure you got a clear path, so.
Thomas Willingham here asks, what's the highest score someone got on you in Grand Arena Championships?
I don't really remember the previous ones, but since the new format, since 1895, that actually my opponent yesterday, my last opponent got that on me. So 1895, I gave up and lost.
What about you, Ranger?
I think last one was 1903, but I'd gone a little bit softer on defense to show off some work. But for that, no one had even cleared me till that one. So
yeah, same. That was a good reality check, huh? It's just like
have you ever lost 5 territory wars in one day? I mean, have 5 Grand Arena Championship battles in one day?
Nope.
It'd be really disappointing to like losing everyone, like on every account that you have,
Yeah, I'm surprised that I have it, but I don't remember what my highest score was though. I think it was right around where Maurice's was. I think it was around 1887 or 1877, something like that. I don't really worry that much about. I just try to do my best, so I don't pay that much attention to the score.
I will say that I don't get very high offensively. I place a lot and just try to slog my way through it. I think I put up 1820 something, 1850, 1860. I don't put up huge. That's what I put up a pretty darn good defense, and then I kind of slog through the offense to see what I can do. And I like testing teams. That's what I do. I like kind of throwing some stuff together, see what I get. And then I write down, okay, this did not work. Don't ever use this again.
McFlies is asking if Ness is the best Gear 13 character in the game.
No. Top 20? Yes.
yes, but yeah, not even.
Definitely tougher to deal with, but not the best.
I don't know if I love her. I don't think I'd even put her in the top 10, to be honest.
Yeah.
And the final question here is, what's the kill order for Revan?
Darth Revan?
Yeah.
Basti.
It honestly, it just
But it depends on where they go to. So usually you want to get off like HK and Basti, unless they have a Marauder. He's kind of a priority to get him off the board too.
Right.
I usually, if depends on the speed, if I go first or second, or the order of who I go after. If I'm controlling, like if I've got the lead on my speed on my Basti on theirs, then I immediately go to like Marauder and then HK right after that, because she's not going to do anything. She does her quick battle mutation, it misses, and so those two I have to worry about with their AoE and the single shot kill, right? So I'll look at turn meter and go after those two first. But if she does get her stuff up, it's gonna be crazy.
Oh, there's another question here I missed. I'm sorry. Van Seal, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, asks, does anyone know if you can look up upcoming feats or the total number of points possible for feats?
Oh, God.
Man, I'm not sure if there's an official list. I'm sure there is. I'm sure somebody's got something data mined, or it might be on GG, because you can look up, like the next day, you can look up like the platoons for the TB on GG, I think, right?
Yeah.
So I'd be. But somebody answered. Let's see, blah blah blah. DSP, yeah, they do seem to be the exact same. as the last Grand Arena. So maybe we can just.
Yeah, it seems like they're mostly the same feats. Yeah, we should just keep track of it. I'm sure there's somebody who has that already tracked out, for sure. I'm sure somebody on Discord has that done, but because it's not a guild-related thing, it's probably not going to be as popular because, obviously anything guild-related like coin counting spreadsheets and calculators for like upcoming characters and things like that, those fly around the circles because, they're so popular for everybody. These are more individual-based. But, yeah. All right, so we are going to wrap it up here, guys. I appreciate everybody hanging out, late on this Sunday night. It's first football Sunday of the season. My Giants got their butts kicked today, so...
my Cowboys.
So we'll have to... Aren't you from Atlanta? You're a Falcons fan.
Please. I'm from Texas. I'm a Cowboys fan my whole life.
All right.
Yeah, they look scary good, boy. They look.
Ranger's a bandwagon. Ranger's probably a Yankee fan too.
No, Houston Astros.
I used to be a Cowboy fan since I was in the 5th grade.
Yeah.
You're probably Patriots. Probably Patriots fan.
Back with Staubach and Renfro and all those guys back then.
Oh yeah.
The Patriots. I mean, the Cowboys look really, really good today. So, I mean, hopefully it was how good the Cowboys are and not how bad the Giants are because that defense got smoked. So we'll see. Anyway, we will be back next week with the Alliance Live show next Sunday. In the meantime, definitely make sure to check out Ranger's show. Where can they check you out, Ranger?
All right, just come to Reality Skewed Gamers on YouTube. We run tons of streams during the week. We got the lunch stream, we got the Wednesday stream, we got the Jedi Academy, and then we play other games we stream. We did D&D today, and we do Battlefront, Naruto, a whole bunch of stuff.
And also make sure to check out Maurice on Tuesday night with TMoney on the Operation Metaverse channel. What's going on this week, Maurice?
We've got it depends on. We've got a guest lined up. It's kind of 50-50 if this guest will be able to make it. So we're kind of gonna figure that out. I guess tomorrow afternoon when we get all the info. Hopefully we get a juicy little post on Tuesday afternoon for us to cover.
Okay.
So
awesome. And Avi, when's the next podcast dropping?
We've got one of them's out now, and then we were supposed to record episode 3 this weekend, but we had some technical difficulties, so we're going to be recording it this next weekend.
All right.
So that's out, and just on YouTube, Boba's Alliance is what you look up.
You just have to give me that info for the next show so I can post that.
I do, and I totally forgot, but I did list the live stream in Boba's Alliance, so I'm hoping some people popped in to take a look tonight.
Yeah, definitely go over to Boba's Alliance and check that out. There's a link in the description for both the Reality Skewed Gamers channel and also Operation Metaverse. So definitely make sure to check out those channels and support the SWGOH family and community out there. And also, like I said, I will post some info about the Boba's Alliance channel on the next show. So. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully we have some juicy tidbits to talk about on the next one. But from here in New York, signing out. We will see you guys on the next one, and may the force be with everyone. Have a good Sunday night or Monday morning, and enjoy the rest of your week. Take care, guys. See you next time.